Big production.
Yo, what's poppin', guys? I'm gonna go over a little weekly ticker breakdown. We got a short one this week. We're gonna start off with Doc. I like the looks of it. So this was our previous supply zone, right, at around 220 range. So as you can see, we got knocked down, and every time we come up, it still knocks us down. Well, this previous run that we had from June 22nd to July 5th was a strong bull run, and now we've got like a bull flag shaping up right over this previous supply zone, so it's now acting as demand. What we want to see is it play out in this flag area. So the way I marked it out was I created like a little channel tool from the top of this range to the furthest pullback point, right? And then you just pull it out sideways. So that's the range we want to see it play in, and eventually we want to see it break out of this and push upward towards our upper supply of 318. Now, if we were to get in now, that's like a 40% trade. So that's pretty decent. I like the looks of it. Longer term, I think this is a nice play. We're in a sideways consolidation range from $1.70 to around 330. So when we look at the weekly time frame, right? I'm just going to take that out of there. When we look at the weekly time frame, if we could play sideways in this range for a while and then break out, and we run the Fibonacci extension tool here, right? From the low to the high to the pullback retracement, 450 is the target. So if we're playing longer term and we think that Doc is looking pretty bullish and we want to hold for a nice swing, there's almost a doubler in here. Don't sleep on it. Keep it on the watch list. So we got Bmbl up next. And I'm going to draw some trend lines here because I like the way Bmbl's shaping up right now. I'm assuming that it's going to be a hot girl summer and a hot boy summer, and we all want to have some fun now that we're coming back out of the pandemic. So when I draw my trend lines here, and you could draw them so many different ways, to be honest, right? I'm just going for the most touches on each trend line. So this looks like it was kind of holding us down for a while. And it also looks like in here, there was some sort of rejection in this range. So I'm just going to draw these out to show you guys. And I also see this here. We got some sort of confluence in this area, and you could redraw it in so many different ways, right? But that's what I'm seeing here. So if you look here, it's playing nice. Like, it's a very technical stock. It looks like it's just following these trend lines and following its support and resistance. It's plain and simple. So what I do see here is that we based out at around $38, and we had a 1, 2, 3, and this is the fourth wave right now. So what I want to see is us create some sort of pattern and then break out long. So what I'm looking for in Bmbl is us to play out in this range and maybe create a triangle up in here. Could be something like that, right? So that's what I'd be looking for. We got some nice price action, and it's following all these supports, right? So this was once our demand zone, this bottom trend line, but as we broke over, it was acting as supply. We break over, we're now back testing it. This up here is also holding us as resistance. So until we break up over this right here, I'm going to mark it in yellow. Well, once we break up over this resistance, it'll probably want to go up towards 74, 75 range, because up here is where our next resistance point will be. And I'll mark that out for you guys, somewhere up in that range. So it's a nice pattern. I really like it. We got some low volume coming in. So once we see that big spike in bull volume, it's like the indication that it's ready to go. I also like how this bottom wick on the weekly just looks nice. So we want to see that hold, right? We're over the 8 EMA now. We need that to hold. So next we got EA Sports. I like this one. I really like this one. I'm going to pull up Apple real quick just to show you, right? So look at Apple, right? We have an ascending triangle here, and then we break out, and it's starting to get that nice follow through. When we look at EA Sports, I see something very similar. Except it's even a bigger pattern. This is back from 2018. We're back up now, right? In 2020 in August, we came up to this $150 range and got shot down. But look, we're getting closer and closer towards that range. Once we break up over this, we could expect there to be some sort of back test around this range, maybe a few times, and go. But I like this name looking into like late 2022. It's like a nice 1 year hold, maybe some calls out to late 2022 for like maybe 170. Think about it. EA Sports were in the game. Like how many they create the games every year. There's always people buying it. I think it's a fairly good company in terms of a fundamental play. I'm not too sure about all their like financing and things like that, but the chart technically looks great. We got Snapchat. So Snapchat had a big bearish engulfing day, which was kind of like alerting because usually that indicates we're going to continue going down, but we held. So I got this point, $61. I got that as our higher low. I want that to hold. If it breaks below this, then I'll probably take my shares off of Snap and wait until we break up over this upper trend line, because this is clearly what's holding us back, this upper trend line right here. So that is what I'm looking at. I really like how it got bought back. See, this is a big bullish day in the market on Friday, and from open to close, we just drove right up and filled that gap. So I really do like the looks of Snapchat here. There's so many ads on that thing now too, on that app. So I feel like a lot of their revenue is from ads from like celebrities and things like that. So I like the looks of it. The target I have is like $95. So, and that's using the Fibonacci extension tool. So I do like the looks of Snap still. It's still in my portfolio there. Now, when we're looking at ETH and Bitcoin, I'm starting to get a little bit worried. Long term, I think we're so solid on ETH and Bitcoin. So if you're super long, it's not even a worry. But in terms of like adding to a position, right now, I really want to get over the weekly 8 EMA. Like that's like something I'm focusing on. Because if we zoom back, right, we could like barely, once this bear market started back in 2018, we could like barely get over the 8 EMA. And when we did, like it got shot back down right away. And it's the same thing for Bitcoin. So right now, I'm going to be looking to see is if we can get over that weekly 8 EMA. Is it going to be sooner or later? I don't know. We're in a downtrend right now. So if we mark this out from high, right, we make a low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high. We could expect that unless we break up over this and then we start getting up over the daily and the weekly 8 EMAs, we're going to create another lower low, leading us to this bottom trend line around 1500. So, you know, I'm not bearish overall because I think the use case for Bitcoin and Ethereum is insanely clutch. And in terms of like the futuristic like potential here, like we're talking about a whole new financial system and other things that are being created off of ETH, right? And Bitcoin being like a whole new monetary like way of saving, way of investment. Like it's crazy. So I'm definitely not sleeping on it, but right now, if you're looking to get a position, you might be better to wait until we get up over the 8 EMA. That's my opinion though, but what do I know? And with Bitcoin, it's looking the same thing here. I got this Elliott wave down to this bottom trend line. I hope this doesn't happen, and I don't want it to happen. But if it does, this is where I'm buying Bitcoin, around 20K probably. I'll probably start a nice position there and then just hold for long term because I really like the looks of Bitcoin long term. We all know Bitcoin plays out nice long term. It just might be the start of a bear market, and right now we're not seeing much demand, right? Like all this bull volume is dropping off, right? Barely seeing any bull volume. There's lots of big bear volume up in here. That's pretty much what we got for this week, but I'm still mad bullish on crypto for the most part, ETH and Bitcoin. So cheers guys, enjoy the week.